Hey guys, today we're going to do Civ cards. For those of you a little bit unfamiliar, this will hopefully give you kind of a ground up grasp of what this is all about, and for those of you that are already pretty far through, I'll show a little bit about kind of what my strategy is to trying to complete some of the diamond sets. So Civ cards, this is a new mechanic that came out 2 or 3 months ago. It's accessible through the art hall here if you go to civilization cards on the right. Where these things come from, so we get them from rallies from B20s and B21s. So you'll see here one that Ninja hit earlier. I got 2 World Civilization rare packs there in the middle of the screen. You can only get 2 per day from those, and they're far from guaranteed. But the rare packs are definitely the ones that you want. If not the rare packs, then you get like this third button down here on the top left. It'll give you a common pack for free every day. That'll be available at reset. And then there's also packs for purchase. So you can do the regular sets here. There's a $10 one, and there's a $100 one. For those of you that are good at math, the rate of return of the $100 one is 50% worse than the one for $10. Obviously, you get a bunch of other stuff, but if you're like me and you're kind of cheap coining these days, the $10 pack's much better. Also, we have these limited ones. So this is actually back from last week's event. I wasn't expecting it to come back, but for the same $10, you're getting 3 instead of 2. So obviously, with a double down, that's amplified even better. And you get the same drop rate of rare cards. They're worth the same. You can decompose them. The tokens work between the 2 types of sets just fine. So a few different places to get them. Obviously, if you're coining, you can do that. Since we're getting 2 per day from rallies, typically, buying the cards isn't really, I'd say, a very smart decision at this point. But obviously, that's you're all grown up, so you can do what you want. In terms of the buffs and kind of why this is important, so the sets that you've got, if you click into each of these individual cultures, you can go to the little chest down in the bottom right, and this is basically going to tell you what those buffs are going to look like. So if we look here for the Europe set, if you get your 5 out of 5, 7 out of 7, and then 8 out of 8 on diamonds, that's a significant amount of buff for in rally ground attack and in rally mounted attack. So there's 55% there on top of some other stuff. Especially if you're free to play or you don't spend very much money in the game, that's a pretty big bonus for just doing this day in, day out, and slowly chipping away at these diamond sets. And then obviously every one of these sets has its own kind of unique buffs. So like here, the America set, this is all for siege when you get to diamond, and they're all summarized. If you click on that thing on the top right, you can kind of see how much you're getting out of this stuff. So as you can see, I've already made quite a bit of progress on this. In terms of the sets themselves, you've got 8 cards per set, and these 8 cards are not created equally. So there's a little color chart in the top left of each card, and that basically denotes its rarity. So that's going to define how frequently it pops up when you open those card boxes. It also is going to give you very different amounts of tokens when you decompose them, and it's also going to cost widely different amounts of composition tickets when you're trying to do composing. So I've got a little thing over here. So basically the red flag, right? So that's the bottom right. So that's the location card, like Alps. That's the rarest one. If you decompose it, it's worth 200 tickets or tokens. But likewise, it costs 2,200 of those tokens to compose. And then you go down, purple flag, that's the one in the top right. So in Europe, this is the Globus. That's kind of half of the red one, so you get 100 tickets or tokens if you decompose, 1.1k to compose. And then we've got 1 blue, that's the one in the middle, King Arthur. And then you've got 2 green, and then you've got 3 of the worst, kind of the most common cards, right? So the nice thing about the greens and the greys is that they are very cheap to compose. They do come up the most, so it is possible to get that 5 out of 8 diamond buff. I wouldn't say easily, but relatively quickly, if you just focus on only composing those. Obviously the reds and purples are the hardest ones to get to diamond, simply because if you fail, you have to redo it, and the cost from a composition ticket standpoint is so much higher than everything else. You'll also notice that the cost when it comes to tokens is higher than if you do like a natural composition with just 10 of those cards. And again, that's by design of the game, right? They're putting a little bit of inefficiency in there, so that when you get to the diamond sets, things really slow down. All right. So that kind of gives you a rough idea of the value of these different sets. As I've kind of gone through and built mine, and you'll see this in a minute, I've kind of got a few purples by accident, and then depending on which cards have gone to purple, that's basically defining which sets I'm going to focus on first going for purple. So for instance, I got very lucky. I got a Sahara Desert here, and a Shamshir. So I got the 2 hardest cards to get to purple. I got those basically by accident, which means I've just got the 4 red ones. You see the Sheikh, the Salad, and the Abbas set, and the Alat. I've just got those 4 to get done, and then I'm done with the Arabia set. Right, same thing with the Korea. Unfortunately, I don't have Crown, so that's that kind of second hardest one with the purple flag on it. But I do have the location card out of the way, so that's nice. And we'll come back to Korea. This is actually going to be the first set that I'm going to work on today, in a minute. So, but first things first, I'm going to have to open some packs. So when you are opening those, you can do them 1 at a time. You can do them 10 at a time. I don't think there's any real benefit to doing them 10 at a time. I've done it both ways for several weeks, and I really don't kind of notice any difference. So we're just going to go ahead and open a bunch of these. We shouldn't get any rare cards, either the location card or the purple one. Occasionally they come up, but yeah, so we've just opened 6 of those and we didn't get a single one. All the ones we got were the blue, greens, and greys. So now we're on to the rare packs. So these should give us a few. See, there's one already. So that's a Grand Canyon, very nice. I got a purple there, didn't see what it was because I was clicking too fast. Nothing there. I got a purple Fabergé egg, that's for Russia, very nice. Nothing. Another purple, lovely. Another location card, lovely. And another purple, cool. All right, so that's given us a bit of meat to work with. So when we go to our card box down the bottom left there, the button, and then we click on compose, it's basically going to show me all the ones that I just opened, right? So the way to start this off, if you're just trying to get your silver sets built in the first place, is to kind of look in your sets through this tab, figure out what ones you don't have, and either you can just keep chipping away by opening cards, or you can go and trade. So if you go to card exchange here, you'll be able to kind of go in and ask basically for a trade. So these are all the ones that I've got to give away. Now, it's impossible for me to give away a card that I don't have a duplicate of. So all these cards I've got to have. So I've got 1 Grand Canyon to trade there. So that means that if I go in here, yeah, I've got a spare Grand Canyon. So it's never going to let me trade that red one. But because my silver card of Grand Canyon is a duplicate, it's letting me have the ability to give that one away. So I can go in here and I can say, all right, I will give away a Grand Canyon, and then I can basically shop around and see what I want to swap for a Grand Canyon. Now, because the way they've set the system up, you can only trade a rare card for a rare card. So if you come back to this thing here, because I'm trading away a Grand Canyon, that's got a red flag on it, it's only going to let me ask for other cards that have that same red flag. So you've got the 5 there that I don't already have purple, and then I've got the whatever these ones are, the Zodiac and the Radiant Star twin gods from the other thing. Anyway, you set that up, and then other people can come in here and they can click on your, they'll be able to click on that and they'll be able to see. So like here right now, I see that Kaza has a trade set up for Grand Canyon. I don't happen to have the one that that's going to go the other way, so I can't, it's grayed out. But you can basically go through this and you can kind of see what's out there. So there's another one. Anyway, so that's the exchange system. You only do it one per day, but basically the intent is to get your 56 out of 56 built for your main Civ cards. Don't worry about the starry ones too much, because they're not free anymore. So the only way to get those sets, if you haven't already, is by exchanging or buying the packs. But basically, once you get 8 out of 8 for all your different silvers, you're going to start unlocking some of these buffs. So for instance, these top 2, so you're going to have a little bit of ranged and siege defense for just doing the silver one on this America set. What you're also going to get is 2 rare card packs for free, which is nice because that'll just help kind of keep the momentum going of building out all the other sets. So once you are at the point where you've got a set entirely at silver, then you want to be coming in and starting to do your composition. So pretend for a minute I was at silver with my American set, so I've got my special shooters. This is where I can say, all right, I'm going to compose, I'm going to try and get myself a gold or a diamond card here. Obviously the odds are that I'm going to get a gold, but there is a 10% chance for a diamond. I don't have 10 cards to do it, so I can use my composition tickets down here to basically make up the difference, and that way I can do this a few different times if I want. Now when you're first trying to get your gold cards, I would recommend doing it in the most efficient way possible, which means using the most of the card duplicates you have and as little of the composition tickets as possible, right? But you only want to do that the first time. So maybe you'll get the purple, maybe you'll get the red, who knows? But you just go through them one at a time and do it like that. You'll likely end up having to do a few of the composition tickets for the rare ones, because getting like 10 copies of like Grand Canyon is pretty hard. So I won't worry about that one too much. When it comes to getting those gold sets, right? So you can see I've got all 7 cultures at gold here. Once you've got the silver set, they're basically guaranteed, if you think about it, right? Because every time you take a silver card and compose it, regardless of whether you get the diamond or not, you're guaranteed to get the gold card. So this is literally just a case of time and patience. So even if you're free to play and you've never spent any money on this event, you will be guaranteed these gold sets. It's just a matter of time. So question is, all right, well, how do I get my diamond sets? Well, that's what we're going to look at now. So if I look at Korea here, I've obviously done a bit of work on this one already, and I'll just show you kind of the process that I'm going to go through to try and get those last 3 cards. So I've just opened a bunch of packs, so I need to go back into my inventory, and I need to make sure that I've got Dragon Archers, Sangung, and Crown of Scylla. So if I go into my card boxes, look at composing, put on a filter by Korea, it's going to show me that Don't have really anything to work with. I have one set of Dragon Archers and that's it. So I don't have any copies of the other stuff. That's a bit disappointing. All right. Okay, maybe we don't do Korea today. Maybe we do Arabia. Yeah, let's do Arabia. All right. So let's go and see what we've got for Arabia. Hopefully it's better than Korea. Arabia. All right, so we need the top 3 and Saladin as well. So we don't need Sultanic Guards. We don't need the Mosque. We don't need Shamshir. All right, so we've got a little bit of runway there that we're going to play with. So, so what I can do is I'm going to decompose everything else in my inventory, other than additional location cards, so that I've got enough compositions to have a crack at trying to get all 4 of these cards that I don't have at Diamond, to getting them to Diamond. So, and kind of how I've done this, I've just got a little note card here on my phone to kind of log what I don't want to decompose. So I know that any copies of Siberia I have, I can definitely decompose those. Same with Surexan, and that's probably it. And then everything else from all the other culture sets, I'm going to just get rid of them. But the ones I'm not going to get rid of are those 4 Arabia ones. So if I go here, let's have a look. I've got the Sultanic, I've got Sahara, Shamshir, and Mosque. So I can get rid of Mosque, Sultanic, Shamshir, and those are the other 4 I want to keep. So I'm going to demolish those. It's going to give me 130 more tokens. And now I'm basically just going to go through each culture and get rid of my extras. Get rid of all those. It's another 100 tokens. And if you've got the sets memorized, you can totally do this without having to kind of do the filters. I'm going to save my Grand Canyon. So even though that's going to give me like a nice 200 extra tokens, when I get around to doing the America set, I'm going to really wish I hadn't gotten rid of my extra location cards. So I kind of want to save 7 Branch Sword as well. I don't think I have... Yeah, I don't have 7 Branch Sword at Diamond, but I want the composition ticket, so screw it. I'm going to get rid of it. What was that? That was Japan, so Korea's next. So Korea, I've got most of these. I think the exception was Dragon Archers, so I'm just going to keep that one off to the side. China, going to get rid of that. I don't have Zhang, so I got to keep that card around. And finally, Mother Russia. I'm going to get rid of all these. So this is going to give me a nice pool of 3,500 composition tickets. So if we're looking back at our cost here, I should have more than enough to have a few different cracks at the blues, greens, and greys that I'm missing for Arabia. So let's have a crack at it. So obviously this is showing everything that I have. I know what the Arabia cards are, but this is basically what we're going to work with. So I only have 1 shot at Saladin. I guess I didn't get many duplicates of him. We'll do him last, but we'll start with the Sheikh. So what I could do is I could do that, right? But then I'm using all my seed cards. I'm using all my spare silver cards all in one go. And I don't want to do that. So I'm actually only going to use 1, and obviously use a little bit more in the way of composition tickets. And we'll just do this every time. So we've got 3 chances at this, 10% per try. So let's do it. So swing and a miss. And swing and a miss. And swing and a miss. So I got 3 red cards or golds instead. So if I come back to my set here and look at that, I've now got 4 golds. So that was the one I started with originally for my set, and then I just composed 3 silvers and I got another 3 flipping gold cards. So we're actually going to go ahead and demolish those extras. So you can see there, it's not allowing me to demolish all 4. I'm just doing the 3 extra ones. And oh, and by the way, you know, it cost me 108 composition tickets every time I did that, and I'm only getting back 30 per shot. So again, there's some inefficiency built into this on purpose by the game to try and slow you down. So I'm getting about a third, maybe just less than a third back. So never mind. All right, let's go on to the next one and see if we get any better luck. So we'll do Alat next. So again, we're going to only use one of our 3 seed cards. And nope. Nope. And nope. Great. This is going really well. So I'm getting rid of my extras, go back to composition, putting my filter back on. Arabia. So Abbas is going to be our next go. Nothing there. And oh my god. So you can see how when you get to diamonds, it really starts to slow things down. And we are going to have a crack at... I'm not even going to bother with the filter. We'll just do Saladin straight up. Come on, give me 1 purple. Hey! All right, that was nice actually, because that cost me 450. That was the blue. So I got bad luck on the green and the greys, but it cost a lot less. So in terms of like efficiency and where my luck was, if I was going to get 1 today, that was the right one. And here we go. So I've got my... So now, now I've got my diamond card, my purple. That makes my red one redundant. So I can actually go in and decompose that and get even more tickets back. And I got my 5 out of 8. So I can go down here. And I now have an extra 5% ground, attack, defense, and HP. And that is global, by the way. So that's for attacking, defending, reinforcing, you name it. So let's go get rid of that extra Saladin. Oh yeah, and if you think you can get 10 gold cards and compose a diamond from that, think again. You can only use silver cards to start. So every time you go for a diamond and fail, you've always got to go back and start again. Because I've got the Dragon Archers, I am just going to have a quick... No, nothing. Okay, fine. But you can, I think you can trade... Yeah, you can trade golds for golds. So like if you've got a surplus of golds and you don't want to decompose them and kind of waste that inefficiency and you're missing other golds, you can always exchange them. And again, you can do that for diamonds. Not that you would ever get a duplicate of a diamond, because that would be silly. Like if I went in here and was like, oh, I'm going to, compose another one of these, like it would be a huge waste of resources and composition tickets. So don't do that. Anyway, so I'm doing all right. I've still got, where am I at? I'm still at 2.3k tickets. So when I do this next time, I'll probably wait a week for my cards to build back up, right? So I don't have any packs right now. So I'll wait a week to get a few of the common ones and a few of the rare ones from rallies to accrue again, and then probably go back in here. And this is nice because I've got basically 3 of the more common ones to target with those, whereas career I've got this one's going to be a bitch to try and get. But so yeah, so Arabia is probably going to be my first one to really try for, and that's going to give me another 5% ground across the board, and then hopefully another 15% if I get the full set, and that'll be that. So yeah, really just, make sure that you're hanging on to the location cards, right? So every time you get something like a Grand Canyon, don't waste it. Try and keep track of where your purples are. So that way, anytime you get one of these, you can just instantly decompose it because you don't have to worry about, messing anything up. And then, yeah, if you are lucky enough to hit a purple for, the rare ones like Sahara and Shamshir, then that's a good kind of positive indicator for where you should be starting your journey to getting 8 out of 8 diamonds. There is a fame for this as well, by the way. If once you get your 56 out of 56, there's a little fame thing for that. So for those of you that care about all that good stuff. Anyway, all right. I hope this helps. See you next time.